So, video games. I play a lot of video games. I have literally 1,040 hours in Celeste alone. And something occurred to me not that long ago when I was actually playing my games was the last time I played a game for fun, right? I sat down by myself and decided to play a game without worrying about what I was going to record, what type of video I was going to make, if I was going to make a video, if I should stream it, if I need to stream it to like my friends or something, like anything, right? Outright playing the game on my own was literally Celeste itself. You see, I got gifted Celeste about 4 years ago. It was on itch.io, I believe. My friend gifted me that humble bundle. And Celeste was bundled in, and I played it, and I absolutely loved it. But it was the last time I can legitimately remember ever playing a game for the sake of just playing it. And even then, after I sped run it, after I had beaten it completely, after I had spent a couple hundred hours on it, I loved it so much I even bought it on Steam. Eventually, once I ran out of things to do, I moved to the modding scene, and that's where I figured out that I could make my own levels, and then that's when I turned to just making maps for other people. And so even Celeste turned into this thing where I was no longer doing it for me, I was doing it for everyone else. I was no longer playing it just for fun, even though it was fun to do, and it is still fun to do. Technically speaking, I wasn't just doing it for my own enjoyment, but it was for the sake of other people's enjoyment as well, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something I've noticed. Since then, every game I have played, all the way to the newest ones, to the oldest ones, doesn't really matter, I have sat down and recorded it, or tried to think of an idea as to how I could turn it into a video. Rain World was a really good example of a game that I started playing on my own for maybe a couple of hours, and then it turned into about 100 hours. About 50 of that I was spent with talking to my friend, or my, at the time, ex. And then that turned into playing with friends, and then playing mods, and then making videos on it. Because that's what was working really well, and I really enjoyed making videos on it, and that's what Rain World became. Once I had beaten Rain World on my own after the first 50 hours, it turned into content creation. That was it. Again. Any multiplayer shooter, I've never played alone. I don't think I've played a single multiplayer shooter by myself just because I wanted to play it since Fortnite first came out. I'm talking the first year of that game, and that was over 6 years ago at this point. I can't. It's fascinating, really, because even things like Minecraft, I never played alone. The last time I played Minecraft alone was before COVID started. That was years ago, literally years ago. It is crazy. I bring all this up because I feel like I'm not the only one. I feel like I am not the only person who has this weird friendship or relationship with games, and they do things that are very similar to me. When was the last time you played a game strictly for yourself? When was the last time you actually just sat down and decided to play a game because you wanted to play it? You weren't streaming with friends, or you weren't talking to friends or something. You were just chilling on your own playing it. Because I hope that for a lot of people that is just pretty often, that does actually happen for people. Because it doesn't happen for me. I can't seem to sit down, because I've tried sitting down and just playing a game on my own, just listening to music or whatever, and I get so bored. I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. I feel like I lack the enjoyment if I don't have friends to talk to, or if I'm not recording it. It has to lead to something, I feel like, and I don't know why. Because that didn't used to be the case. Even when I go for 100%ing a game, I'm still trying to figure out or think of ideas while playing it. Cyberpunk was, I think, a good example of a game I did truly and honestly enjoy and played on my own, but it still didn't feel the same, I got really engaged in the story, so I decided to not talk to friends. I decided to not make videos, but even then, it still ended up turning into videos and talking to friends about the game and the story. I don't know. It's these short bursts of 20-hour segments, in all of these different kinds of games where I do actually play them on my own and I enjoy them on my own. But those 20 hours go by in a week. It happened with Cyberpunk. It happened with The End Is Nigh, or anything. I even buy games now just so I can make videos on them, which is something I would have never done 5 or 10 years ago. Obviously not 10 years ago, but 5 years ago is something I would have never done. It's weird. So play a game on your own. See how you feel. See how you enjoy it if that's not something you do very often. Because I'm kind of curious if I'm the only one that feels this way. Now, with that all being said, and what made me truly realize this was Darkwood. See, I had a friend recommend me the game, and even though I've played about 10 hours of it, I would say about 8 of it or 7 of it was spent talking to friends. But those 3 hours I played on my own, which was really recently, were some of the most enjoyable moments I've had in a while. And after doing that, I decided to go and re-experience some of Cyberpunk on my own. Re-experience just playing Celeste or something without making a video, without making a map. And it made me realize, holy shit, this whole time I forgot about No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was actually the only game I can recall where I made no content up on it whatsoever up until I think I hit a certain point where it was just like I have nothing left to do. It took me like 250 hours before that point. But No Man's Sky, I don't know how it slipped my mind. So I reinstalled the game and I looked at it, and yeah, I realized I didn't stream it to anyone. I've never really talked to it about anyone. I've never even, I mean, I did make some content on it, but it was mostly just one, I think it was 1 or 2 memes. And that was it. This whole time I was like, oh, Celeste was the last game I played. And I was like, oh, well, maybe it was Cyberpunk. Oh, maybe it was this and that. It's like, no, I do play games on my own. They're just so rare for me to find. It's strange. The point of this video, by the way, is just to say, go enjoy video games. Don't worry about what other people think. Stop worrying about what you should or shouldn't do. Don't worry about making the wrong or right decisions. Just do it for you. And if you already do that, I mean, try it with games that you normally wouldn't, you know? I think it's healthy. I think it's good to spend time with yourself and to enjoy things by yourself. It's something that I've kind of lost and haven't really touched in at least 1 or 2 years, but every now and then there's this periodic small window of a couple of days where I do, and it's some of the most enjoyable gaming experiences, some of the most memorable gaming experiences. I mentioned Cyberpunk, and that's a massive one, but No Man's Sky was 240 hours of just pure enjoyment in a video game and atmosphere to just chill to. It kind of reminds me of how Minecraft used to be. I can't really play Minecraft anymore because I don't know what to do in it, but I also just can't play it because as soon as I start playing it, you know, I got friends who are like, oh, what are you doing on fucking Minecraft? Like that sort of thing. It's fascinating. So enjoy a game. Enjoy it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Games are a beautiful medium, and I believe it should be treated as such. I personally am going to go try playing a bunch of random games that I usually wouldn't play alone, just for the sake of playing them alone. So, this is a random video, random rant that ultimately I don't think goes anywhere. It's just something I wanted to talk about that I find interesting. And as I was talking about it, I realized how wrong I was. I do play games alone, but I believe I should do it more often. I believe everyone should do it more often. I'm done rambling. This video is nonsense. Fuck you.